Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Casey. Today's video is a what's for dinner video. This week's what's for dinner video is special because it is a collab with so many amazing ladies here on YouTube. I will put a link to the playlist in the description box below. You do not want to miss out on that playlist. There are so many what's for dinner videos in this playlist. I know you will enjoy them all, so make sure you check that out. And if you are over here from any of their channels, hello and welcome. I am so happy to have you, and I hope you enjoy my video and get some meal ideas and inspiration from our dinners this week. Hello everybody. So a couple of weeks ago I made this Tuscan chicken out of one of my Pioneer Woman cookbooks, and it was really good. We all enjoyed it, so I wanted to make it again for dinner this week. So here I am just mincing up 4 to 5 cloves of garlic that I'm going to add to a bowl with 1 cup of olive oil and 1/3 cup of balsamic vinegar. And then I'm going to be adding salt, garlic powder, onion powder, dried basil, and dried parsley. And once I get all of that mixed up really well, I'm going to add it to the chicken to marinate in the refrigerator for a few hours. And then after it has marinated, I'm just going to get it put out onto a baking sheet. And then I'm taking some cherry tomatoes and also putting those in the marinade that I had left. And then I'm just going to put those on the pan with the chicken. And I bake this at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, just until your chicken is done. This is what it looks like before it goes in the oven. Then I'm going to serve this with a side of couscous, and I just follow the instructions on the back of the container, and that is just to boil 1 cup of water with about a tablespoon of butter. I just did that in the microwave, and then I added 1 cup of the couscous to it and stirred that up and set it aside. That is literally all it takes to make couscous. And I'm going to cut these cherry tomatoes in half and add a little bit of balsamic vinegar to them and some salt. And then I also cut up some parsley for the couscous, and I'm going to fluff it with a fork now that I'm ready to put everything else in it. And I just added the juice of 1 lime and the tomatoes and parsley. And I'm just going to get that stirred up really well and set it to the side so I can get my chicken out of the oven. This is what it looks like when it gets done, and this is my plate. I highly recommend this recipe. It was a huge hit for us. So I am cooking some beef stew in the Instant Pot tonight for dinner. And what you will need for that is some beef stew meat, tomatoes, green beans, corn, carrots, beef broth, potatoes, and an onion. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the Instant Pot on Sauté function. And I hope y'all can hear me. I've had a lot of people tell me that they can't hear me very well in my videos, but I'm actually talking louder than I normally talk. And when I edit the videos, it sounds loud enough for me and I can hear it just fine. So I do apologize if you cannot hear me, but I don't know what else to do about making sure that it's loud enough. But the first thing I'm going to do is get the Instant Pot set on the Sauté function. And I'm going to cut the onion up and go ahead and cut the meat up into smaller bite-sized pieces. This is pretty large. And I'm going to get that started and season it. And then I will get everything else put in and the potatoes peeled and added. Okay, so I have the meat that I trimmed up in the Instant Pot with the onions, and now I'm just going to season it with some salt, onion powder, lots of onion powder, and garlic powder. I also like a lot of garlic powder. Okay, that's been cooking for a couple of minutes, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start adding in my canned foods. And I don't drain anything when I put it in. So that was the carrots, and then a can of corn, 1 can of tomatoes, and I got the green pepper, celery, and onion, but you can use whatever you have. And then just a can of green beans. And then I'm gonna add about a cup of beef broth. You wanna make sure that you have enough liquid to cover your potatoes. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and add the whole container of the beef broth because I've gotta add the potatoes still. So I'm going to cancel the saute function and get the potatoes peeled and cut up, and then I'll add those and get it started. I'm going to add a little bit more salt now because I did put so many potatoes. Okay, so I have already canceled the saute function. Make sure that your vent is set to sealing. And then I'm just going to push the soup function, which is 30 minutes. And I will show y'all what it looks like when it's done. All right, guys, here is my bowl. It is a little under 70 degrees here today, so this is perfect for the weather. It's also raining and very nasty outside, so I am going to sit down and enjoy this, and we will see you tomorrow for dinner. So on this night, I decided that I wanted to fry some minute steak. I'm just seasoning the flour here with some onion powder, garlic powder, and salt. And then I'm just going to mix the flour up really well and get the oil started heating up. While the oil is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start 2 cans of sweet peas, and I add some butter to those, and I will be adding a little bit of salt to those. As soon as the oil is warmed, I'm just going to toss the minute steak in the flour and get those put in the oil. Then I'm just going to get a lid put on it and let those cook while I get my potatoes washed, peeled, and diced up to make mashed potatoes. I peeled and cut up about 4 or 5 medium-sized russet potatoes and got those put in some water with some salt. Now here the minute steak are done, so I'm just going to take those out and put them on a plate so that I can make my gravy. I'm not going to drain any of the oil out or take any of those good bits and pieces off of the pan. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of butter in there and a tablespoon of flour. Then I'm going to get all of those little bits off of the bottom of the pan before I put in the beef broth. I do end up adding a little bit more flour to make sure that I had enough, so I ended up adding probably a tablespoon and maybe a half teaspoon. Then I'm just going to let that cook for a couple of minutes to cook out the flour taste, and then I'm going to add the beef broth. I just added the beef broth until the gravy came to the consistency that I wanted it to be. And of course I taste it. I needed to add a little bit of salt. So I do that, a little bit of more beef broth, and then I'm going to taste it, and it is perfect. I am then going to add some mushrooms, and I cut up a medium-sized yellow onion that I'm going to put in as well. Once I get the mushrooms and onions mixed in, I'm going to put the minute steaks back in there, toss those in the gravy, and then I'm going to put a lid on those and let it sit and simmer while I make the mashed potatoes. I do leave a little bit of the cooking water in my potatoes and about 2 tablespoons of butter, a little bit of salt, garlic powder, and onion powder, and then I'm just going to mix those until they're fluffy. The first thing I'm going to do is fix my oldest son's plate for his dinner at work this night. And then I'm going to fix me a plate. I gave my son 2 of the hamburger steak because, of course, my daughter doesn't eat meat. And my youngest son won't touch minute steak. So here is my plate. I love a lot of gravy, onions, and mushrooms on mine. And then that is the plate that I took my sister to work. And this was our dinner on this night. And on the next day, I am cooking dinner at my mama's house, and I am cooking for some of the family. This is one of the family's favorite meals. We call it steak and gravy on rice. I'm going to be cooking that with these 4 packs of steak strips that you see, with 3 packs of McCormick's brown gravy mix, 1 pack of the Lipton onion soup mix, 4 bags of boil-in-bag rice, and 2 tubes of the butter crescent rolls. This meal serves 8 adults. We are also going to have salad on the side, and I just picked up a head of lettuce and cut that up because we are not picky about salad. The first thing I'm going to do after I've gotten all of those steak strips cut into bite-sized pieces is start about a tablespoon of canola oil in this electric skillet. And I'm just going to cook the steak for a few minutes, just until it gets about midways done. And then I'm going to put in the 3 packs of gravy mix with 3 cups of water. I also already have the rice boiling. I usually just set a timer for 12 minutes for the rice and just let it go. So now that the steak has been cooking for a few minutes, I'm just going to season it with some garlic powder, onion powder, and salt. And then I'm going to add in the gravy mix and the 1 package of Lipton onion soup mix. And then I will just put the lid on it and wait on the rice to cook, and it should be done by then. We just serve this over rice, and I don't always serve it with a salad or crescent rolls, but since I was cooking for so many people, I went ahead and did serve it with that. But I don't always, and of course you can cut this recipe in half. Now that it is done, we have our lettuce, and I just set some ranch dressing out with it for the small side salad. And we have the white rice. I didn't put anything in the rice. The crescent rolls and the steak and gravy. And here is my plate. I highly recommend this meal. It is a family favorite. Okay, and so the next night I am cooking dinner at my mama's house again, and I'm just gonna make some quick tacos or taco salad. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cook the ground beef, and of course I will drain it, and after I drain it I just season it with a little bit of salt, and then I will add the McCormick's taco seasoning mix and follow the package directions on that, which is just to add the seasoning and then 3/4 cups of water after you drain your meat. And then I'm just going to put the lid on that and let it simmer for 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to get a lid put on that and let that simmer for a few minutes while I get everything else together. And that is done. We did have lettuce left from the night before when I made those salads, so I set that out, and some shredded taco blend cheese with some salsa, sour cream, some soft shell flour tortillas, and then I also set out some corn chips in case anybody wanted to make taco salad instead of tacos. And this was our dinner for this night. Here are our bowls, and then of course my youngest son is a picky eater, so he just wants cheese and sour cream. Okay guys, that's gonna wrap up this week's What's for Dinner video. Make sure y'all go check out that playlist in the description box and go over and check out everybody else's videos. And if you come over from my channel, let them know that I sent you. And if you're over here from their channels, I would love to know in the comments. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Also, if you've made it this far and you do decide to stick around, I'm doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway for a new OXO salad spinner and a $50 Starbucks gift card. So I do want to keep all of the people that I'm putting into the drawing in one video. So I will link the video in the description box below where I talk about the giveaway. And all you have to do is go over to that video, write hashtag OXO in the comments, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing that giveaway. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.